And we begin with breaking news. Demonstrators on the campus of UT Dallas.
Yeah, the group has set up on a plaza of the campus calling for the university to meet their demands. They say they are not leaving. NBC5's Maria Guerrero spoke with some of them and has some insight into what they want. Maria?
Bianca, Christie, this is a very fluid situation right now here on the University of Texas at Dallas. Here we have what appears to be a confrontation, folks, with area police, DPS, SWAT team members coming in to shut down this encampment that started early this morning. My partner is down there. We have another camera angle for you as police are coming through to tell them to disperse. The university has already instructed this crowd to leave. They cannot camp here overnight, which was their goal in mind. You're watching this unfold, as all of us are as well, right now live on NBC5. You can see the Palestinian flags in the background there. Several police officers. I saw zip ties in their hands, presumably to detain anyone if things get hopefully not out of control. But we have Vince Sims down there closer to the crowd. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, things are starting to escalate here on the university campus. We see students and people, really, there are non-students, okay? We have confirmed that are here on campus joining this encampment on the plaza here at UTD, demanding the university sever any kind of ties, they say, with U.S. defense contractors like Raytheon. We're going to try and move a little bit closer. Pardon us, okay? We're just trying to give you a sense as to what is happening. Thank you, Pablo. So we're walking. You can see other students are not taking part in this large demonstration, looking on as we are and as you are live right now as police, SWAT, heavily armed. They have batons out and they are ready to put an end to this. We have one adult, it looks like, one man right there in a suit. He is being taken away in zip ties, if you can see that, hopefully, by police officers. A second person behind him with that covering over his head. Unfortunately, this is definitely not what we wanted to see in what has until now been a peaceful protest, but one that has intimidated Jewish students. That is according to students who we have spoken with. You can see this student, and the chants are shame on you right now. There's this person being taken away. Okay, so what you're seeing right now, guys, live on NBC5, is this encampment being broken up by police. DPS, Sheriff's Office is out here. We have a few people, unfortunately. It doesn't look like anything is getting violent or extremely physical. This person right here he's screaming. He's being taken away with zip ties. As the chants continue, guys, please stay with us. We have a large crowd. Other people are just standing by, not going against what police are saying necessarily. Police are moving. They are moving in, folks, okay? So bear with us. Pablo's going to get up top so he can give you a good vantage. You see this tent right here off to the right is being, it's being dismantled by police. These students and community members moved in early this morning, I would say about 5 a.m., and they told us they will not be leaving until their demands be met by the university.
Maria.
They also wanted the university to condemn. Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
No, we're watching these images live as they unfold. You said people started arriving at around 5 o'clock this morning. How big is the crowd now, and did it grow slowly throughout the day, or has it maintained its size all day?
It was small, but it has grown throughout the day. We're standing up here. We're not getting involved. I do not want to get involved in this. We're just showing you how police are coming through. We have this group right here, Pablo. Guys, this group right here. Sorry. This group has been here since this morning, and they are locked. No, not locked in arms, but it looks like they are praying in the middle. They are presumably not wanting to move at this time. You have the sheriff's office Okay, right here, excuse me.
All right,
This tent
and Maria,
is
Maria, as we watch these incredible images, are these students peaceful, and have they been peaceful throughout the day? Exactly what's the mood been like?
It's a great question. Listen, they have been loud, they have been boisterous, they have been peaceful, but they, again, are saying, we have the right to come here, we have the right to be here. This is a public university. We have the right to be here, and we are not leaving until the university divests its interest with these types of companies. So they have been peaceful. Right now, there is no violence other than a lot of shouting right here. You can see there's a woman being taken away. This is the woman, one of the organizers that we actually spoke with today. She's being taken away. She's being asked to, okay, so everybody who was sitting, as you can see right here on the UTD campus, that is Noor. She is one of the organizers behind this effort being taken away. You can see their zip ties. Listen, it is chaotic out here. I'm not going to say that it's not, but there is no violence, actual violence against our police officers. They are out here. They are, they're obviously grabbing people who are not wanting to go. They're being set, this crowd. You can hear the crowd.
And again, we are watching these images live, a student protest at UTD. Again, this is peaceful. It is very loud out there right now, but we do see some students being arrested and taken away, but again, they are walking away peacefully. We also have NBC5's Vince Sims there at the scene. Let's bring him in as well. And Vince, I'm assuming you're seeing a lot of the same thing, but can you give us something from your vantage point? What's going on where you are?
Yes. All right, so we're in the same area. You're looking at people that are being taken down and arrested here. We've got state police, we've got the sheriff's department. They have gone into the encampment area, and as you saw them earlier, they were tearing down the tents and tossing them to the side. They have turned over tables that have food on them. They flipped those onto the floor, and they have pushed the crowd back now. The crowd was just chanting, "Stop this now, stop this now," as they're watching. They've kind of set up a perimeter, but as you're seeing in front of us here, they are still making their way in, and anybody that is still inside the encampment are the ones that they are taking down and arresting at this time. But again, as you said, the students and those here have not done anything towards the police. They're just standing, and they're letting them take them down and be walked and escorted out of the area. The chants are starting back up again, so all of those that are standing around watching this unfold are starting to chant, "Free, free Palestine" once again. But they have been pushing people back to a certain perimeter where we are at this point. Now, as you see, the sheriff's office and state police, they've now set up the next perimeter, because where we are behind them, there were tents and food tables all set up here. Those were tossed over and torn down. Now they're starting to advance a little bit further into the encampment. We're going to see if there's still some people standing in that area. There's one person standing there that they're
Vince.
walking towards. There you go. Another tent is being torn down by the police right there. They just flipped over another tent. Yes, go ahead.
Vince, we've been watching these images as they come in.
You see them now?
We know
They're
that the
flipping
group
the
of
tents.
demonstrators is fairly large. Some are students, some are not students. But this had been planned, and the university knew that this would be happening. Have you heard from them any type of response? Right now we have on the screen a notice that they had sent out to demonstrators. I'll read it to you. It says, "This is a written notice that all tents and structures will be removed immediately." So
I have that.
the demonstrators knew that this was coming, Vince?
Yes, they did know at some point it was going to be coming. I don't know if they were aware it was going to happen this fast, but just moments ago, the university did hand out a notice to them saying that the setting up of the encampment, including the tents, barricades, and other structures, is not permitted by the university's policy of free speech and expression. Then the protesters who were out here read this to their group, and they advised anybody with children, anybody with disabilities that were participating in this, they should leave at this time. So they did give them warnings. The protesters, talking to their own people, said, "Hey, if you have little children out here," which there were whole families out here with the little kids that were participating in this, and we did see some leaving, but then we also saw them pull up the pylons from the road so the police could make their way in, and we knew that they were probably moving in. And then we started seeing the SUVs started rolling in, and that's when the protesters stood the line and started saying, "We won't go, we won't go." And that's when it all started moving in. But yes, the university probably 10 to 15 minutes before state police and sheriff's department, they made their way in, handed them a notice to pass out saying that this was not allowed. They do have the right to freedom of speech. They could be in common areas. They're allowed to be all out there, but not setting up an encampment, not setting up tents, and not blocking walkways, which this one was right in the center of campus and blocking one of the walkways here. But again, now police have made it to the other side of the encampment. There's a plyboard type of wall there that they had. We're going to make our way in also. Now that they've gone further in, we're going further in. So you can see how they've just torn down the tents here.
Yeah, and Vince, we are actually looking at a wider shot from Texas Sky Ranger. And for our viewers who are just joining us, again, we are watching live video. This is a live view from Texas Sky Ranger of demonstrations on UT Dallas's campus. And just a few minutes ago, we saw live as police came in to tear that encampment down. As you heard Vince say, it was blocking walkways, and the demonstrators had been warned by the university. And Vince, I'd like to ask you to explain to our viewers exactly what these demonstrators were demanding. We're seeing these protests across the country. They are protesting the Israel Gaza, Hamas war and Gaza occupation. So can you tell us a little bit about what these demonstrators were asking for specifically?
All right, let's send that question over to Maria. You've been there most of the day, Maria.
Okay,
what were these demonstrators demanding exactly?
Yeah, so as you can hear, people are chanting shame on you to these officers. They believe they have the right to be here. I just spoke with this UTD student. She is a UTD student, and I was wanting to ask you if I could please. You're watching this unfold on your campus for something that I believe is something important to you. Can you just tell me what you make of all this?
This is honestly heartbreaking. I can't believe that people are here against humanism, right here tearing things apart. There's not even an ounce of humanism where people, the way they're treating people, the students, and the way they're tearing things apart, not even with a second thought. It's honestly heartbreaking, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Can I ask you a question? They were told, everybody was told, because we heard it, you guys cannot camp here. You'll have to disperse before this show of force.
I'm honestly not really sure about all that. I'm just here for SJP, and I'm just here to stand for what's right. And that's humanism, and clearly these people don't believe in that, and that's exactly why we're in this position that we are right now.
How does this help your cause?
Honestly, we just want divestment. That's all we're asking for. It's not a lot, and every single student here that's fighting, even despite having finals in a week and they're getting restrained and they're going to jail and all this stuff, like, they're willing to sacrifice all that just to fight for a good cause. So
yeah, this is finals week, but can I ask you as well, you share a campus with a lot of people from a lot of backgrounds, okay, and that includes Jewish students who have told us this right here is scary to them, it's threatening to them.
Well, we're just standing up for what's right, and in our eyes, and every student over here believes in the same cause, which is freedom for Palestine. That's all we're here for.
What about your Jewish students?
We're not here to fight or to say that somebody else's stance is wrong. To each their own. I'm just here to fight for my cause, and every student here is for that too. Everybody here believes in equality and freedom, and they just want to fight for the kids that are literally dying in Gaza as we speak. And that's all we want.
Are you willing to risk arrest, or are you about to head out?
I'm just here to fight for a cause, so I'm going to be here as long as I need to be here. Arrest, no arrest, I'll be here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Guys, back to you.
All right, let's head back to Vince Sims there on the ground. Vince.
Yes, I know you were asking earlier about what the reason they were out here initially, and this is coming from the Gaza Solidarity Encampment that they organized this. They're demanding that UTD wash its hands from the genocide and heed the students' call to divest from different companies that they've listed in this, and that's what they want this to happen. So that's what they're calling for, and they said they would not move unless these actions took place. Now you can hear once again the chants are starting back up, the shame on you for what's happening out here. But police have now just cleared the courtyard area here. They have not gone through the other wall to the other side. They've just set up the perimeter because they wanted to open up this area. But there's still just students and people standing around and watching and just looking at what's happening. Once again, you can see them tearing up more of the tents, just breaking that down. The encampment is being torn down as the officers go in, removing this, and everybody else is just kind of standing around the perimeter. Many just watching and looking. Some not associated with this, but this is drawing a lot of attention with this right now as they continue to break this camp up. And this is what they've been chanting for. This is what they were set up for. But now there's more yelling to the further side. But the officers are not moving the line past that. Once they got through this area, they were fine with that. But we're going to continue to monitor and look at the situation of what's happening out here. And we'll bring you more reactions. We're going to send it back inside to you now.
Okay, Vince, I do have a question for you. I know that this was a demonstration that had been planned. The campus was aware. Law enforcement was aware. They had warned that they would come and break things up. But you've been there all day, and you had a chance to talk to others on campus who are not involved in the demonstration that we've been watching, who are there to witness all this. What did you hear from that perspective?
You know, it's really been interesting. We did make it out here earlier, and we were talking with some people that were not associated with this at all. One person that I had talked to came out here just from the community. He was an alumni of UT Dallas, just came out here to see for himself, although he was wearing an Israeli army t-shirt, and he said if he had to choose one side or the other, that would be the way that he went, but he was just here kind of to observe. Again, I talked to another lady that was here. She was just walking with her dog through here. She saw and heard all that was happening. She just came to observe it. She didn't have a feeling either way on one side of it. She was just like, this is interesting. Then we've heard from other students that they're kind of sad to see this happening on their campus, and they're sad that it has come to this. But again, there have also been a few Jewish students who have been out here that have voiced their concerns and their thoughts about this. Also, we talked with one earlier from one of the organizations here. There was another guy who had the Jewish flag in his backpack, and he was just watching. There was no confrontations, there were no issues, but there were the other side of this out here also watching and seeing what was taking place. Bianca?
All right, Vince, thank you for that. As you can see, we continue to follow these live images coming in from the campus of UTD, where an Israel-Hamas war demonstration has been going on almost all day. Okay, we're going to go back to Vince.
Yes. You're coming back? Yes, coming back to me? Back out to me? All right, so as I said earlier, we did have a chance to talk with some of the students that are out here, and one is the president of the UT Dallas, Hillel president. Let's listen in to what he had to say about what was happening out here today.
Do you feel safe, or are you worried?
I can say that it's a little bit of both. It is definitely a little bit of both. I feel like I have seen people like staring, like I'm constantly being watched just by like sitting around. But I also feel like they are not going, like as an organization, as like a group, they're not going to go and attack me solely. That would be a extremely negative image for them.
Hey, what's up, man? All right, so that was one person's thoughts there from the Jewish community. They're expressing their feelings about all of this. But again, as bad as this is looking at all the destruction, they're tearing everything down, this has remained peaceful, except for the ones that have been arrested and taken out that did not disperse once the police started moving in. But this has been a very peaceful demonstration beforehand, and then even after officers moved in, there was a lot of yelling and chanting, but there's been no physical altercations. Even the people that I've personally seen that were taken into custody or detained by police, they were not fighting back. There was no physical altercations like that. They were just put down on the ground, rubber cuffs put on them, and they were toted off of the area and carried out. So again, peaceful, a lot of chanting, a lot of emotions, but it has remained peaceful.